I'm going to use a darker tone here. I've just mixed a bit of triple mixture with darker black, and I'm going to help build this ellipse here. So it's very subtle, and I'm building kind of like a bit like a square in perspective, but it's going to be an ellipse. So I'm just using these markings to help me understand that ellipse. So I do 2 parallel lines this way, 2 parallel lines that way, because of this handle and this spout is what we're interested in. So we have to draw it in this way. So I'm just painting the spout with a couple of marks here. If you want to brush up your painting, or if you've not done any painting at all, this is definitely the place to come, because you'll really learn from my experience in Florence. I studied there for 3 years, and I studied under Russian professors. The Russian method is quite a strict method, because I think just of the nature of painting, you want to get the paintings done quickly. You want good results, you want accurate results, and Russians had to be a bit strict to get those results. If you were doing a painting class that was more abstract and a bit more feelings based, just jumping around, you might be a bit more relaxed, you wouldn't have to be so strict, but you do have to be quite strict as a teacher and with yourself. A lot of people now, time is so precious, time is money, so people want to be able to do a piece of painting, whether it's for a friend or for a family just as a present, or whether it's a commission. Being able to paint fast is really important. Learning how to paint in grisaille, that means in black and white. Learning how to paint from drawing, so you'll do a drawing, like a sketch first, and it'll probably be about this small, very small, and then you will be working from that small sketch and you'll be doing a bigger painting, because we can see more accurately when we paint small. And from those small sketches, we do big painting. And this is all light, and then we've got that ever so important shadow line, which runs down the left side of this lovely green pot here. Shadow lines are really important because they divide the light from the shadow, and without them, you cannot build form. The 2019 course starts in September, and there we'll be starting off, if you're a complete beginner, it's no problem, we're starting completely from scratch. We're painting things like spheres, which sounds boring, possibly a bit dull, or you think, oh, I want to paint a tiger straight away, I want to paint an elephant straight away. You have to start those basics before you can paint something more sophisticated and much more complicated. So sphere, believe it or not, is actually quite difficult to paint, but there's a few examples of work we can show here as well. I'll take you through it'll probably take you about 3 hours to learn how to do that. I'll take you through the stages of how to do it. We start working with black and white, only black and white, and then we move on to colour, but that's introduced much more slowly. And focusing on that one colour by itself.
And it all blends.
And yes, you change it millions of times because you haven't been comparing it with other colours. So you'll see it differently every time. So that can be a real nightmare. What's a really good way to paint circles is with angles. So we paint more like an octagon. Now, judging on the shape of the plate. So this plate, possibly it feels like it has to come up a bit because the ellipse wasn't quite correct. The course lasts for 12 weeks and each session lasts for 2 hours. In that session, you're given a lot of one-to-one guidance because I have a limit of how many students I have per class. There's coffee on tap and the occasional cake, but obviously I don't want that to distract from your painting time. So you get a lot of time with me teaching you. Here's a great place to socialise as well. We have a right laugh and we've been smiling thinking about it. It's a really good place because it's a limited student number, people really have the chance to chat. There are pauses for breaks, but I think they really come naturally. Some people want to paint for longer, some people don't want to talk so much. So yeah, it's really open to the chatty as well as the people that want to get down to work.
I enjoy coming here because I get to have that social interaction, as it were. Because even though artists are supposed to be lone beasts, or as it were, but it's nice to talk to other people, learn from them, as Sue said, and obviously get help from Lucy. Because even if I'm sitting up in my bedroom, you know, only the Google's going to tell me I'm wrong. So it's nice to actually be taught.